UCLA always has such original routines on the floor.
Very much so. Choreographed by their head coach, Valerie Condos. Always have so much character. There was a front pike right through, handspring, front with a half twist.
UCLA had that disastrous first rotation on beam, Julianne. So what are they competing for now? Because they put themselves in such a deep hole.
Well, great athletes have a lot of pride. And sometimes once sort of the air is taken out of your sails, you actually see some of the best performances because you kind of feel like you have nothing to lose. Last tumbling run, double twist.
Nice recovery by Heidi Moneymaker.
On a dynamic tumbling run like this, you're always concerned about space. You can see here that her foot is right on the line. It's not a deduction unless your foot is completely out.
And that was good for a 9.9 for Heidi Moneymaker. Can Stella Ume bounce back from her fall off the beam? We'll find out when we come back.
When you learn to drive.
At Pennzoil,
Here we go.
we make motor oil that performs under the harshest conditions. Stop-and-go driving.
Come on.
If Pennzoil can protect these cars at the Taxi Cab 500, maybe you should ask for it next time you change your oil. Stop, go. Pennzoil.
8,000 mutual funds. And everybody's looking for a winner. But chasing the latest hot fund won't get you anywhere. To pick a mutual fund, find out how they pick their stocks. At Janus, they pick stocks one at a time. They investigate companies like nobody else and invest in the most promising ones. That's how you get there. Janus no-load mutual funds.
I take the position as being a role model very seriously, and I look forward to it every day. It's a challenge, and I like that challenge, and I accept it.
When we choose to be an athlete, we choose to be a good role model. I think the two go hand in hand.
And with the accolade, with the respect, and with the honor, and with the prestige that comes with being an athlete, there's also responsibility. I think that it's a fair exchange.
Amy Chow, Dominique Dawes, and Shannon Miller power the professional gymnastics competition. Plus, pro bowling rocks Rio. Next Saturday on CBS.
Welcome back to Pauley Pavilion and the NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships. Some youngsters doing a little choreographing in the stands for future routines. Set to vault last now for Florida, Susan Hines, last year's vault champion. She scored a perfect 10 in the preliminary round. We talked to her about her competitive drive.
I try to set the standard. I try to act as an example more than anything, not so much outspoken, but just try to lead as, you know, the example of the team and try to, you know, not only in my gymnastics while I'm out on the floor, the beam or whatever, just in life.
She's so competitive. I mean, even if we're playing a game before practice, she has to win. She actually broke somebody's nose last year in a game, which is probably not something I should say on television.
Well, that's the kind of athlete you want. She competed on vault at the SEC Championships with just one contact, still managed to place second.
She's very
very aggressive. She does a front pike with a half twist. Incredible.
Well, that should help the Gators keep pace with the Gym Dogs.
You can always tell on a vault it's high because she actually drops down into the landing, and it's easier to land a vault like that.
And there it is, the first 10 of this final round of competition.
And well-deserved. That was really technically perfect.
Over to the bars now. You're looking at the taped leg of Utah's Angie Leonard. A shin injury has limited her training. She's still the Utes' best bars worker.
Her big release move is a Jaeger flip right here. It's a front flip release move. Here's her transition onto the low bar, which is a requirement. She sets up for a double layout dismount. Nice dismount.
Angie Leonard getting a hug from Megan Marsden, assistant coach and wife of head coach Greg Marsden. Meantime, Arizona State's having trouble pulling big scores on the beam. Megan Wright with a 9.7. That follows a 9.6 from Elizabeth Reed.
She hits a big sequence here. Back handspring, 2 laid out backflips, and just relaxes a little bit. She actually hit the move, making the little bobbles, the little mistakes.
Angie Leonard with a 9.9 on the bars for Utah. And now Stella Ume will complete the second rotation on the floor for UCLA. She has been a spectacular competitor for the Bruins, battling all kinds of injuries this year as she wraps up her collegiate career.
I'm waiting for a finger to fall off a toe. I'm hanging on by a loose thread. And my body's, I trust and believe in my body, and I believe in what I've done all of my life in gymnastics, because 17 years is pretty much all my life. I'm ready to not overstay my welcome in terms of being in this sport too long. I'm ready to end this chapter of my life and just move right on.
Well, this last competition started out rocky for Stella. A fall off the beam. Let's see if she can rebound here. Stella's mom, Patsy, trying to send out some positive energy to her daughter.
She has been such a treat to watch over the years. She competed for Canada at the Olympics in 1992. She's a very rare specimen. She is so powerful, but what a beautiful athlete. Unbelievable double layout backflip. A lot of times when you see a gymnast that is this powerful, they lack the artistry, the dance side of the sport, but she has it all. Whip right through to a double tuck back.
Keep in mind, Stella Ume is competing injured. She landed on her head on her dismount from the bars at regionals, sprained her neck and her back, and she says in just about everything she does, she feels pain.
Of course, you can't tell on this performance. As an athlete, you learn to compete with the pain. I love to watch her on this event. Her movements are just very innovative. She has beautiful form. And here's a very difficult last tumbling run, double back.
A 7-time All-American, she will not leave this sport quietly.
The larger your radius when you're rotating, the harder it is to flip. She's completely laid out. It's extremely difficult.
An emotional day for Stella as she awaits her score. Her mom chanting with the crowd for a 10. And she gets it. The second 10 of the competition. Stella Ume, a perfect performance on the floor.
And she has to be thrilled. She actually has never scored a 10 on the floor, although there have been times that she has deserved it.
So UCLA picks up some ground, but it is a long way back. Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and Arizona State getting ready to compete in the third rotation. Stella Ume takes another curtain call on her home floor. We'll be back.
Slam the stack. You could win instantly. Yeah! Snowboards, mountain bikes, other stuff.
Everyone she ever loved disappeared.
My husband was murdered.
Every truth she ever heard was a lie.
You can't trust nobody.
Now she will defy the family.
There's no way out. No matter what happens to me, I will never set foot in this house again.
For a forbidden passion. Kirstie Alley, Jason Gedrick, in a world premiere event, Mario Puzo's The Last Dawn 2, CBS tonight. Due to violent content, parental discretion is advised.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
It says here over 40 million Americans have some blemish on their credit. Well, who hasn't been late on a mortgage or credit card payment? At the Money Store, they understand. Even if your credit isn't perfect, you can still get a home loan to pay off high-rate bills, lower monthly payments, even get some extra cash. Just call 1-800-LOAN-YES. You don't have to live with those high-rate bills anymore. Call the Money Store instead. That's 1-800-LOAN-YES.
$169 per month is all you have to pay to drive either a Dodge Ram pickup or a Ford F-150 pickup from Earnhardt. That's right. For only $169 per month, you can lease a '98 Dodge Ram pickup or buy it for only $14,985. For only $169 per month, you can lease a '98 Ford F-150 pickup or buy it for only $13,775. This offer is only at Earnhardt Ford in Tempe and Earnhardt Dodge in Gilbert, #1 in the world, and that ain't no bull.
I'm June Thompson. Thanks for watching CBS 5.
Welcome back to Pauley Pavilion and the NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships, an ERA Championship Series event. Now in the third rotation, Utah and UCLA have a bye. The Bruins collecting themselves after a perfect floor routine from Stella Ume. Wendy is with Bruins coach Valerie Condos.
I have to say, you looked very excited and very emotional when you saw Stella's 10 on the floor.
It's about time. She is, I felt, deserved a 10 so many times, got 995, 9975, and her body is hurting her bad. Was in a pretty bad state before the meet, and to be able to pull through, you know, I just think it's wonderful for her, and what a great way to end her career.
You did a great job in the prelims, but had a little trouble in the first event with the beam.
We have a few different competitors in here from last year, and I just think they might have been feeling the pressure a little bit more than normal, but, you know, you might say it's the nature of the sport, it's the nature of the event, but it's also, we just didn't do our job over there.
And Georgia coach Suzanne Yocklin knows exactly how Valerie Condos feels. In the past, the beam has been the gym dog's nemesis. Last year, Georgia came in with the highest preliminary round score, but 2 falls and a major mistake on beam in the first rotation virtually knocked them out of the title hunt. This year, coming into the final round as the favorite again, Yocklin feels the heat.
The demons, you know, that everyone says, you know, Georgia's been in this position before. You know, we've been ranked #1 before in a couple of the last championships and not finished in the #1 position, and that, you know, Georgia can't handle the pressure. And I think that the only pressure is on me. You know, I'm the one that's been here for the last 4 years that's got to get rid of those demons. You know, this is a new team. It's new kids with a new attitude.
And here's Sam Muehlman getting set to go on the beam. Julianne, does this Georgia team seem different to you this year?
I think they seem totally different. I mean, They're just very comfortable is the only way I can describe it. When I watch them, and I think when the audience watches them, you just don't feel nervous. It's like you know they're going to hit.
Muehlman was one of the athletes who fell off the beam last year.
And here's her key move. Back handspring layout, immediate back handspring. Absolutely no problem.
And a reminder, 4 events are going on at the same time in this gym. The music you hear right now is from the floor exercise.
There's another tumbling sequence. You'll see back handspring. This is what's called a fish flop. The required full turn. It's very smooth. Front aerial. No hesitation whatsoever. 1.5 twists. That's the ideal way to start a rotation.
A solid lead-off performance on beam from Sam Muehlman. Courtney Gallivan will get Florida started now on the bars. 21 years old from Troy, New York.
She starts out on the low bar, hips up. She'll do a giant full right into her release move into Kachev. And that's very difficult because you don't see the bar. It's a blind release move. Setting up for her dismount, piked, double back.
Back at the beam now, a sigh of relief from Sam Muehlman as she puts up a 9.875 for Georgia. And it's a 9.825 for Gallivan's bars routine. Katie Horniker ready to vault now for Alabama. She's a freshman majoring in chemical engineering.
You could call this half on, half off with a front twist. A little step on the landing there. Or as we watch the replay, you could consider it a Sukahara entry, backflip with a half twist, although she has a forward landing.
And it's a 9.75 for Horniker. Not great scores for Bama on the vault. Back over to the beam now, freshman Christy Litchie slips up for Georgia, scoring just a 9.35.
Just on the dismount, she's a little short on her rotation, and that's considered a fall.
And there's Christy's dad, Dave, and he gets to be doubly nervous here. Up now for the Gym Dogs, his older daughter, Karen. Georgia cannot afford any more mistakes on the beam. Karen, one of the gymnasts who had a low score last year.
Press handstand mount, right into a needle scale, showing great flexibility. Two back handsprings, laid out backflip. Just a tiny bobble.
Karen and Christy trained with teammate Sam Muehlman at Cincinnati Gymnastics under coach Mary Lee Tracy. Karen was a 3-time member on the U.S. national team.
She has a very nice presence. She's a very nice style, good form. It's a back handspring quarter turn handstand. Watch this, don't blink. Gainer double twist.
And another Gym Dog redeems herself. And Dave Litchie looks like he can start breathing a little easier again.
Watch how square her hips are to the balance beam. Her legs coming over straight. A tiny little bobble, not much of a deduction.
She hangs on, and Litchie scores a 9.90. Kim Arnold will get her shot on the beam when we come back.
How would you describe the perfect vacuum cleaner?
Powerful, easy, feather light fun. No more bags.
Presenting the incredible Phantom Lightning Vacuum. Powerful, versatile, and no bags. The secret is patented dual cyclonic action. 2 cyclones of non-stop power devour dirt. Then simply empty the bin.
It was like turbocharged. It just started picking up everything around the house.
For versatility, look at these amazing features. The unique stair hugger design does a balancing act on stairs, so you don't have to. It's all-terrain. Glide from carpet to bare floor. For cleaner air, the Phantom Lightning has a certified HEPA filter, and attachments in the trunk clean every nook and cranny.
This vacuum is perfect.
It's a whole new world of cleaning. Call to get a free video of the Phantom Lightning in action. There's no obligation, and you'll be amazed. Call now.
If we price it smart, we'll sell it quick.
Isn't this loft fabulous?
You know, millions can see it on the internet, but it only takes one to buy it. It's worth every penny. Don't worry, I won't let the cat out.
We got 2 offers today.
I've narrowed it down to these 5. Looks great.
Hey! Anybody hungry?
Only ERA has this tool. It's designed to help you keep up with industry trends.
There's a big difference between working with just any real estate agent and an ERA real estate professional.
Yes.
If you're ready to sell your house, call for the name of your local ERA real estate professional today. ERA Real Estate. We're selling houses.
CBS Sports is online and burning up the internet. For round-the-clock, up-to-the-minute sports news, breaking stories, and the latest scores, fire up cbs.sportsline.com.
We are in the 3rd rotation of the Women's Gymnastics Championships. Florida is on the bars. Chrissy Van Fleet ready to go for the Gators.
She straddles over the low bar, right into upright handstand, setting up for her piked Jaeger flip. Little leg separation. Setting up for her dismount, double layout.
Well, Florida has been impressive on the bars in this rotation. They are staying right on Georgia's heels, putting more pressure on the Gym Dogs. A familiar face at these championships, Sarah Patterson, a little concerned about her team's performance on the vault. Here's Gwen Spidel.
Difficult vault, Yurchenko full twist. A good vault, but a giant step on the landing.
Gwen's competing on vault this year for the first time in her collegiate career.
And that's because the Yurchenko vault was finally allowed this year in collegiate gymnastics.
Spidel scores a 9.80 for Alabama, and it's a 9.85 for Van Fleet's bars routine. Over to the floor now in Arizona State's Elizabeth Reed. She had a great NCAA championships last year, but this has been an up-and-down season for her.
With Liz, you take the good with the bad. You know, there's a fine line between perfection and disaster. And Liz, we want her to always go hard.